Welcome to Synagogues of Pennsylvania, Part 1. In our first episode, we look at the city of Pittsburgh. It has a population within city limits of a little over 300,000, but a metropolitan area of about 2,300,000. As this map shows, it is located on the west side of the state. As we take a closer look at the city on the map, one can see in boldface the words Squirrel Hill on its eastern portion. This is where the main Jewish area has been for many years. There is another area called South Hills, which is southwest of it. By the way, that spot just to the left of the word Pittsburgh in the center of this map, where the three rivers converge, is where Three River Stadium used to be. The rivers are to the left, the Ohio, and coming in from the northeast is the Allegheny, and the southeast the Monongahela. Let's take a look at about 20 synagogue sites in Pittsburgh itself. Our first stop is Congregation Bethel, a conservative synagogue. It has a husband and wife rabbinical team, Alex and Amy Greenbaum. They have been leading the synagogue since 2002. It is located in the South Hills neighborhood. It has services on a daily basis, both morning and evening. And make note that sometimes the weekday service will be moved to the home of a person sitting Shiva. The next synagogue in our list is Beth Shalom, a conservative egalitarian congregation. Services are held on a daily basis, both morning and evening. The senior rabbi is Seth Adelson, while Mark N. Stateman is rabbinic scholar. The congregation was founded in 1917 by 35 families, and today there are more than 650 family units. Its first building was constructed on these grounds in 1922. There has been subsequent expansion as well as reconstruction after a major fire in 1996. Our next stop is Bnei Emuno, an Orthodox shul. The congregation started in 1927. This building site was dedicated in 1948. At that time, it served over 1,000 families, as it was the only synagogue in the area. By 2011, membership had severely declined. There was thought to close down the synagogue. However, at that same time, Chabad Lubavitch of Pittsburgh was looking for space in the Greenfield neighborhood where the synagogue is located. They took over ownership, and the building is now called Bnei Emunah Chabad. Here's another Orthodox shul, Sharei Torah. It is located in the Squirrel Hill neighborhood. Daniel Wasserman is the main rabbi, and the associate rabbi is Eliezer Schusterman. Rabbi Wasserman has been its leader since 1996. The congregation was first organized in 1880, and it was the first Orthodox congregation in the Squirrel Hill area. We think this is the Chabad house on campus. It serves 9 universities and colleges in the Pittsburgh area. It has been in existence for 27 years. Rabbi Shmuel Weinstein is its director, and Rabbi Shmuel Rothstein is undergraduate activities liaison at the University of Pittsburgh. There is also a Chabad of South Hills. At least that's what the sign reads. Its director is Rabbi Mendy Rosenblum. There is a synagogue and a Hebrew school on the premises. The actual building is somewhere up in that retail strip. We'll wave goodbye because we are unable to enter the parking lot and get a shot of the storefront. Which brings us to a location that has a split personality. It houses 2 separate congregation entities. The main congregation is Tree of Life or La Simcha. They advertise as a traditional, progressive, and egalitarian congregation in the Squirrel Hill neighborhood. Chuck Diamond is the rabbi. Besides Shabbat, services are held on a daily basis in the morning. If the name of the congregation sounds like 2, that's because it is. Tree of Life was founded more than 150 years ago. or L'Simcha less than 10 years ago. The two merged in 2010. We also mentioned another synagogue entity, and that is Congregation Dor Chadash, or New Generation in English. It began renting space from Tree of Life or L'Simcha in 2009. It is a Reconstructionist affiliated congregation. It has been in existence for 50 years. They do not employ a regular rabbi, but use lay leadership. Shabbat services are held on the first and third Friday evenings of each month. Occasionally, the fourth Friday of the month will also be scheduled for services. The second Saturday of each month will have a morning service. The Lubavitch have a boys' yeshiva campus in Pittsburgh, and this is its location. There is also a girls' school at another site. Our next location is New Light Congregation, a conservative synagogue. This congregation was chartered in 1899 under the name Robert Street Ohel Jacob Synagogue. By 1903, it was one of the larger congregations, having more than 400 members. In 1912, it merged with Sharei Shamayim Anshe Romanian, and at that point it became known as the Big Romanian Shul. In the 1940s, it adjusted back to the name Or Chadash, or New Light, and in the 1950s it just began to use the English name only. In the late 1950s, it moved to its present location. Jonathan Perlman is its rabbi. Services for Shabbat are held both Friday evenings and Saturday mornings, and during the fall and winter months there is a Sunday morning minyan. Next on our list is a synagogue that is a little shy. It is the Parkway Jewish Center, Sha'ar HaShamayim. It is a liberal, egalitarian, conservative congregation. Services are held on Friday evenings and Saturday mornings. It is literally off the beaten path, surrounded by woods filled with wildlife. It claims to be the only conservative synagogue in the eastern suburbs. It does not have a rabbi, but rather a cantor who leads the services. We've mentioned a couple neighborhoods in Pittsburgh, South Hills and Squirrel Hill. Let's face it, Pittsburgh is not on flat land. The camera here is not tilted, and you're looking at Congregation Poalei Tzedek. It calls itself a modern Orthodox synagogue and proclaims that it has about 250 member families. And on a typical Saturday morning, there will be over 200 adults in the main sanctuary for services. Rabbi Daniel Yalkut is spiritual leader. How about this imposing structure? Rodef Shalom Congregation, a Reformed synagogue. Services are held both Friday evenings and Saturday mornings for Shabbat. Aaron Bisno is rabbi along with Sharon Henry, and Rabbi Emeritus and Senior Scholar is Dr. Walter Jacob. Rodef Shalom came into being in around 1855. It started out as an Orthodox congregation, but in 1863 it changed to Reform. At its peak in the early 1960s, it had over 2,300 member families. And here's another Reform congregation, Temple Emmanuel of South Hills. Services are held both Friday evenings and Saturday mornings for Shabbat, but Friday evening formats will change depending on the week of the month. There is also a Sunday morning minyan. Mark Joel Mahler is senior rabbi. Jessica Lockitz is associate rabbi. The congregation was established in 1951 and within a couple years began construction at this current site. And another Reformed congregation, Temple Sinai. James A. Gibson, senior rabbi since 1988, and Karen Gorbin, associate rabbi. This congregation has been around since right after World War II and claims a current membership roll of over 850 families. Services are held both Friday evenings and Saturday mornings for Shabbat, but at both days, the format changes depending on the week of the month or the occasion. We shift over to the Aleph Institute. Its motto is, "No one alone, no one forgotten." It is a Jewish religious, educational, and humanitarian organization serving the Jewish community. It provides welcome relief for incarcerated Jews and their families. Programs and services are designed to attain maximum impact within the prison environment, as well as during the transitional period after incarceration. Its executive director is Rabbi Moshe Meir Vogel. It has been in operation since 1991 and moved to this location in 2005 in the Squirrel Hill area. What major metropolitan area in the United States wouldn't have a young Israel Orthodox congregation? And this site is proof that Pittsburgh is no exception. The rabbi is Rav Shimon Silver. Services are conducted both morning and evening on a daily basis, and there is also a Daf Yomi class. We believe this is the location for the Lubavitch Girls' Schools. Across the street, housed in the B'nai Zion building, is the Young People's Synagogue. It was founded in 1946. It has no rabbi, no secretary, no office, no paid employees. It meets on Shabbat and holidays only, and considers itself a traditional congregation, meaning that it lies somewhere philosophically between Orthodox and conservative. This concludes our look at synagogues in Pittsburgh proper. There may be some synagogues that we have overlooked, but if we cannot substantiate a physical location or recent information on the congregation, it is not listed. In the meantime, more synagogues of Pennsylvania to come. So, see you real soon.